We're live. Hello, hello. Lovely to see you, Bill, Lori, Julie. Nice to see you join us. So I am waiting. We have a little configuration set up all the way at 7 a.m. in Australia, as Jennifer will be joining me in just a moment. I want you to notice a couple of things. Talk. It's a big deal that I can talk because I have my voice back. That's a big deal, that I have my voice back. I am not hearing you, but I wouldn't expect to hear from you. I should expect my iPad here, which is my mobile device, to be talking to me. And I don't yet see Jennifer joining me, but I know she's coming soon. My sound is good, so something is working anyway, whichever device is picking it up. So thank you very much, Mary. Again, Mary Marshall, lovely to see you coming in from New York, all the way from Texas. Kyla Bayang, thank you so much for joining. It's a delight to have you all joining once again on this this weekly Sunday live program. I really rather enjoy doing these. I still can't quite figure out what it is about it that makes it fun, but it just is. Joining me today, as soon as she can bring on the connection, is Jennifer Jones, whom I asked to join me because of a special sneak we're going to do today. But first, I want to share with you a few fun things we have coming up this week. I know many of you are also members of my alter ego, Actually, no, this is not an alter ego because I have those two. This is my sister publication, Mission Genealogy, which I started not quite a year ago, in August last year, with Robin Stewart, as a way to help family historians and genealogists who are new to Substack get comfortable with the platform. And here she is. Yay! Join me in welcoming Jennifer.
Hi.
Hello, hello. Good morning from tomorrow.
Yes, I'm here from what day is it?
Monday morning.
Yes. Good morning.
Welcome. I was
Thank
just going through a quick update about this week's programs with Kathy Stone. So Kathy Stone is picking up a topic that Deborah Carl covered in a tip for Mission Genealogy. So with Mission Genealogy, we are always focused on matters for family historians and genealogists right here on Substack. And in that talk, she was in that tip, she was talking about copyright and how to handle the very particular challenges of materials that you may or may not be sure of their provenance. You may or may not be sure who to quote and how to handle that. Well, Kathy Stone picked up on that and said, hey, wait a minute, that's a really interesting topic. When it comes to all of the images in particular, as we focus on that in Kathy's Corner. So that is going to be her topic on Kathy's Corner. And all of you who are members of Projectkin have a chance over in our live chat to chat with her ahead of that event. There's been quite a dialogue going on, and I invite you to join that conversation. And she was with us last week. You can also watch that video from last week. But this week, I have asked Jennifer. Are you rested now from that drama of logging in?
Oh, technical issue.
You act so calm.
A brain issue.
Hey, it's 7 a.m. on a Monday morning. Kudos to you.
Oh, gosh.
Listen, I asked Jennifer here to join us to talk a little bit about a special program we've been cooking up. I should say Jennifer's been cooking up. So here's the thing. We were talking, as one does, a little bit about all the different kinds of things we have going on here at Projectkin, and suddenly realized that as much as we're working on a mission as Projectkin to encourage families to tell their stories, we're not really doing anything to present the stories that they have to tell. I mean, obviously, if you all have your Substacks, you're doing that there, which is fabulous. But a lot of what we talk about in Project Kin is that, you know what, there's lots of ways to tell family stories, and they are all valid and all should be respected and encouraged and supported, because once you get started, you're doing more and more and more, and that's really important. So to find ways to do that and encourage that, Jennifer came up with a good idea. So I'm here to make it happen. And the idea was, we have Kathy's Corner. What we need is a speaker's corner, like Hyde Park, a place to people be able to stand up and tell their stories, because there's something we can do here at Project Kin that's kind of hard to do on your own. You might be writing your own stories, but to tell the stories, audio, to speak your stories, or to get loved ones to tell their stories, to video is hard if you don't have an audience. We are an audience. We are each other's audience. We adore each other's work. So let's use that. So once a month, organized around a theme, we're going to have Speaker's Corner. And to make this all happen, we realized it should have a theme to it. It should have a focus to it. It should be curated. So what we needed was a producer. So guess what? Jennifer Jones has stepped up to be the first Project Kin producer, producing a series for Project Kin called The Speaker's Corner. Now, I think of this a little bit. See those hearts there? You see, I told you they'd love it. Uh,
Thank you.
it's a little bit like here in the United States, and as far as I can tell, nobody outside the United States knows this, but here in the United States, there's a wonderful podcast called The Moth Radio Hour. You can find it on your local podcast channel. It's really a lovely program. And again, it takes an idea, builds a theme around it with monthly programs. And so Nancy says, wait a minute, shouldn't we check her resume?
No.
But since you bring that up, Nancy, you're right. You will find Jennifer at Tracking Down the Family. And therein lies the most important part of her resume, which is her engagement, what she does. And so we're so thrilled to have you. There's something else that Jennifer has, and that is a superpower. Now, many of us from Scotland and Switzerland and Sweden to Hong Kong and Western Australia have spotted Jennifer's unique superpower from Australia. And that is that from central Victoria, the state of Victoria in Australia, she's able to join programs from our best Atlantic times to Pacific times. So she's spanning the planet and has that worldview that brings in the creativity and explorations of our whole planet of English speakers that we join here on Project Kin. So with all of that blah, 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 I'm going to turn it over to you, Jennifer, to tell us a little bit about what you have up for us.
Spanning the planet, I love that. I might even use that sometime. So Speaker's Corner, as Barbara said, is about telling our stories, going to be about telling our stories. And I'm sure many of you are like me and get that look when you start to tell family your stories. I mean, as Barbara also said, we tell our stories on our Substacks, and, interested family historians come along and read them, and sometimes, if we're lucky, family might read them. Not very often in my case. But to actually tell a story about our family history to someone who would be interested and not give you the look or the eye roll. There she goes again. I just thought that would be a wonderful opportunity for us to just tell one of our stories that really means something to us, and that you think family historians know family historians and what they're interested in, so you will know the stories that will be interesting to others in our group. And I'm thinking about 20 minutes. We'll have two guests each time, maybe three, depending on time frames, but around about 20 minutes. A little bit less for a short story. We can match you up with two other people instead of one. And as Barbara said, to a theme. And there are so many themes, as you all know, when, writing your family stories. We've got, tragedies, celebrations, weddings, immigration, inquests, just whatever theme you want to think of pretty much will cover a theme for family history. So we've got a few. We've got August ready to go, and that's going to be done at the Pacific time, August. So we will alternate times as best we can. We might probably have more Atlantic time talks than Pacific, so we might get, a few in a row there. But so Anne Young is coming along to be the guest. And just for our very first launch, we'll only have one guest, and I will also tell a story. And actually, Anne and I will be telling a story about the same person, but it's a huge, huge story. It's a humanitarian who, born in England, came to Australia and did amazing work. So Anne will tell one side of the story, I'll tell the other. Then we have signed up, but not locked in. Oh, we've locked in October, I think October, for Laurie. And we know Laurie will tell us a wonderful story about her set of goblets that were a legacy from an ancestor and what she's done with them, and that will be an amazing story. And then we have in November, Deb, who is a new subscriber to Substack, not to Substack, to Projectkin. She has been Substacking for quite a while. And she has an incredible story to tell about a school tragedy that she was involved in. So that's coming. And December, we'd like to have some Christmas stories. We don't have anyone locked in yet. So if you have a family Christmas story that you'd like to tell, get in touch with me. Barbara will put the link down there. And we've even started booking into January. We have Jane Chapman locked in for January to tell her story. So there's an opportunity there for so many of you to come along and join me and tell your stories. So please get in touch. In my panic, I can't remember the link.
Projectkin.org /speakers queue. So I will paste that into the link in just a moment. And you know how I do this. I do notes. So you got it in there. Don't worry.
Yep.
There's no link you can't find. You can always text one of us. Now you can text us both.
Yep. So I think our audience will be waiting to hear your stories. So, I'd love you to pop along to our Speaker's Corner and jump up on the box and tell us your story.
Exactly. So we'll have a post out probably Tuesday with the high-level details, and again, these links, and have the event for August up there as well. And we'll plan to alter the timing so that we will adjust to our speaker's convenience.
Yeah.
So one thing we'll probably avoid is having a speaker in Australia and a speaker in Scotland at the same time, unless one or the other is willing to do it in the middle of the night. Because, we're powerful, but not that powerful to change the globe. We just hope it holds still, actually, these days. So when as I said, popped the speakers queue, speakers queue, as in, line, like in, you might have, do they have lines at Speaker's Corner in Hyde Park? I would assume people stand in line to speak, right?
When I was there, they did. And this was many, many years ago when I was there, but the speaker brought along their own little box. I'm sure there's probably a box there now. But
we have a special box coming. We are going to own the box.
We do.
we have a special, Projectkin soapbox.
Yep. Right.
That could be a whole soapbox project. More on that later.
Yep.
We'll think of something.
That sounds like a project.
Now, to be clear, the form that I've just sent out, click that link, it goes to a Google form. No big surprise. And all it's really asking for is who you are and what the core of the idea is. Not asking for a preface or a pitch or a big long
No.
document, just a sentence or two about what the core idea is. And that's going to go to Jennifer to be thinking about, how to shape this. So don't wait until you're too far along down
Yep.
the road
Yep.
before reaching out, because the best thing is to reach out early.
Yep.
And this does not, and it's almost better if it isn't something you've already posted. You don't want to see me reading this now, right? Yeah, because I did have it written. You don't want to see me reading this. Nobody really wants to see something read out loud. You
No.
just want to talk.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it you. That's what makes it a conversation and a story that will hold someone's attention. So we've got all of that, and I'm just so excited. Hello, Tanea. Lovely to see you, IO
Oh,
Roots. So many new people joining in here and joining, I think, this joy, because there is just so much fun in telling stories. And I think having a new way to capture a recording of telling a story
yeah.
is part of what makes it fun. Lori, that kind of attitude, that's also what makes it terrifying. You know the expression from our very own Eleanor Roosevelt, do something every day that
Yes.
scares you, right? Did you
Yes.
do something today that scared you, Jennifer? Come on. What was it?
Yes, I did. when
And
I
it's
when
only 7 in the morning.
when my app wouldn't let me in, I was terrified.
'Cause that
Yeah.
happens, right?
Oh,
Every damn day. It's
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
you're among friends here, and that is exactly you're not only among friends here, you're among others who share your
Yeah.
passion.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, when I did these live sessions when I could hardly breathe and I was coughing, you know right? I had
Yeah.
Kathy Stone there with me to come up with another idea to talk about.
Yeah.
It's I forgot this morning that I had a haircut appointment. So that's why my hair's wet. It's okay. We're
Yeah.
among friends here.
Yeah.
And the many different ways in which we talk to each other and we connect with these, in my belief, uh, makes us all feel better about this process. And
Yeah.
most importantly, we take that home. We
Yeah.
take that to our friends and family and help
Exactly.
them tell those stories.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get, and I hope one day to do this as a project recipe for Projectkin. My father-in-law has some, he's 96, sharp as a tack, and has these family stories to tell. I want him to tell those stories into video, but having him talk to video is boring if you don't know who's there. He'll talk
Yeah.
to,
Yeah.
in this case, it'll be a Zoom with a family and let him see because
Yeah.
it's familiar. But any media that gets somebody with an audience, welcome, welcome,
You're right.
is just what it
Yeah.
takes
Yeah.
to create a connection with family. And so I'm so excited about this. All of you out there, Ryan, welcome. Uh, Jane, I believe, is behind Story Carrier. I get so proud of myself if I know where you're
Yeah.
coming in from, but I am sorry. I want to, yeah. Is that right? In any case, welcome, welcome. It is so much fun to have you joining us to see who's here to make these connections and, frankly, have all of you be part of this new wacky idea, because more so than ever, this is going to be something
Hi,
that
Kathy.
we really are doing together. Hey, Kathy,
Yeah.
nice to see you. Yes. Oh, good.
Ah,
Thank you.
hi, Jane.
Story Carrier is Jane. Thank you. Now
Yeah.
you're Jane Carrier to me.
Yeah.
But that's just how this works. I know. I dropped my last name just because it was like one more thing to remember that's not immediately relevant. So yeah, there we go. As we walk through this. So just to reiterate, for those of you who have just joined, we're here to talk about two things today. One is that a quick heads up and reminder that on Thursday's Kathy's Corner this week, that's at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. British summertime, 6 p.m. continent. See, I get good at that part. I'm having trouble. The other direction in Australia, New Zealand, all I know is it's a decent hour.
8 a.m.
Thank you. No, well,
Yep.
that's right. Oh, Kathy.
I
Right,
think,
because it's an hour later. Exactly. 8 a.m.
yeah,
in
yeah.
Sydney and 2 hours later in New Zealand.
10 a.m. in New Zealand. Yeah.
Right. For Kathy's Corner. And Kathy's Corner topic this week will be all about copyright and the images that you include in your family history, whether it's on Substack or anywhere else. It's a broader discussion about not only how to handle copyright in Substack, but also really what are the issues, how to find the sources, how to go about it, what to be worried about, what to not be worried about. And most important lesson takeaway from all of that was, hey, US copyright law is not the same in Canada. Duh. Because so much of the material is written about the
Yeah.
United States, right?
Yeah.
And that's not true everywhere. So that's on Thursday. But today's big announcement, well, no, it's not an announcement. We're sneaking it here because it's just us girls,
Little
pardon the
sneaky.
expression. Pardon it. Yeah. Is talking about this new Speakers Corner, which will be out in a post on Tuesday with a new event in August 14th. So you can schedule up your calendars at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, and 9
3
a.m. Oh, yeah.
3 a.m. Australia.
4 p.m. Oh, in August, is Pacific time or Atlantic?
Oh, no, sorry. Yeah. Yeah. It's August is Pacific time.
Right. So that'll
Yeah.
be 9 a.m., right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll have to better look into that. And yes,
So
it will. Yes,
international
absolutely.
time zones are hard, but
Oh,
that's why I pay attention because if I can do one thing easily, generally speaking, from California, it's just easier. On
yeah.
your left is the
Yeah.
Pacific, and on your right is the Atlantic. How hard can it be? Anyway.
Oh, to tell you the truth, the timing is absolutely doing my head in. It's a real learning experience, and lucky I've got an expert there to
Now,
check it all
what
over with.
wouldn't it be fun? I think we could do this. What do you all think in my copious spare time of putting together a I'll start with Projectkin members map of where you are. I mean, we know from our little things, we know whether they're in what country,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah,
that's only if they're your subscriber. Any
yeah,
given address, you don't know who they are.
yeah,
And creating a My Maps, a Google My Maps is actually not that hard once you figure out there's a nifty trick. There's a plugin that
yeah,
converts any address into a longitude, latitude, and then you plop that into the map. And okay, I can't, I've got a few things in my own queue right at the moment, but I know what that idea is.
yeah.
And it would mean I'd be asking you for things. I've got an idea. So some of you over the holidays might have seen, because I had access to it. I did little cards, and I have a few left, and I would be delighted to send you a postcard. In order for me to send you I need your address to put you on the map. And I will promise to, only put city and, postal
Yeah.
address, state as we would say, province, not actual address, because that's not cool. And and I will not only mail you a postcard, but add you to the map. Wouldn't that be cool? I think that would be cool because I want to know where people are,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
helps me with respect to time zones
Oh,
and you with respect to time zones.
because it will save people having to be annoyed by me all the time saying, so what
Where are
time's
you
that?
again?
Are
Yeah.
you, you know?
Yeah. I've worked hard to try to remember things like, Tanea, you're in North Carolina, North Carolina, I think, right? Tanea? Lori was originally in Kuwait when she joined.
Oh,
So she got my attention right away. But lately is in Wyoming any given time of the day. It's hard to keep up. If I remember correctly. Yeah, I think. Montana? North Carolina. Oh, messing with me. I think we need to narrow it down between
yeah.
from and currently living. Yeah,
Oh,
we're going to go with currently living because we're talking about time
now.
zones.
Yeah. Yeah.
Time zones for you as a speaker.
Yeah.
And I think I can create this map starting with my patrons, which we'll talk some more about that later on. I can talk about my patrons right away. And then I can add our speakers during the speakers corner and just sort of incrementally add it. Because frankly,
Yeah.
once it started, it's no big deal to
Yeah.
add.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
That's how these ideas happen. That's how this happens, kids. One false move and you're entering this crazy world I live in. I also, you see, what I've been thinking about maps is because I want, actually, you want in on my crazy world. Um, I've been thinking about doing some format to talk about migration stories. I think migration stories, I could see a whole series on nothing, but certainly a theme for Speaker's Corner on
Yeah.
migration.
Yeah.
Many American families came as part of the Great Migration, which was actually renamed the First Great Migration, which is those who came from England to New England, very centric, right? And then there is the Second Great Migration, which is often referred to as the African American migration out of the South during the Jim Crow South up north and west. And there's probably many more, not to mention all of the other migrations that
Yeah.
brought peoples into Britain, for example, from Anglo and Saxon and so on. And all of the migrations to Australia.
Yeah.
You know, these are fascinating. And to me, they're also one of the things that unifies us, ironically, in the sense that we are all peoples who have all come from different places. And even peoples who were here first probably also came from different places, and then have ancestry from different places.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway,
And we all come from somewhere else
yeah,
in
yeah,
Australia.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 And, the Aboriginal peoples always have so many of their own stories. I mean,
Yeah.
my friends and family in Hawaii share the Polynesian culture with the
Yeah.
culture of the Maori people of New Zealand.
Yeah.
And I'm astonished to see some of the same cultural artifacts carried over there as well. And,
Yeah.
who'd have
So
thunk
many
that?
stories there. Yeah.
Exactly. All
Yeah.
right. Well, that's a topic for another thing.
Yes. Yeah.
Sneak. My idea is something called, it's another tool from the Night Lab. And I've promised to do something about that and haven't gotten around to that one yet either. But this map's going to come first because this is easy.
Ah, yeah. Yeah.
And before that is Speaker's Corner.
Yeah.
Watch for the post on Tuesday. And I want to thank you all so much for joining. We have good stuff. I will get the video out hopefully within a couple of hours. Last week I had a Substack had a burp on me and it took me hours to get the whole thing out, but at least it was a bona fide bug on their side.
Ah, good.
But we survived, that's how it
Yep.
works.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. No, thank you,
Yay!
everybody. Thank you.
Thank you,
And
everyone.
look
Appreciate
forward
it.
to it.
We'll talk again soon. You guys are just fabulous. Oh, there you. Oh, whoa. Kathy, I'm so sorry. In addition to the conversation about copyright, Kathy Stone reminds me that we'll also be talking about how to get those photos from reluctant family members. So that cousin that you've just discovered, how do you get them to give you their photos, to share photos with
Yeah.
you? That's
Yeah.
a whole social engineering thing. That's a really
Yeah.
important topic to be getting to.
Yeah.
And thank you, Mary, for asking that
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
How do we get you our addresses for the postcard? Well, I'm thrilled that you're asking.
Yes.
It turns out I'm getting really good at creating Google Forms. So stay tuned. I'm not going to ask for that until I'm ready to support the back end, so that we can take care of this. But it's probably like a month out, something like that, not too far out. And I can't wait to. In fact, if you slip me a DM with your address, I'll take care of you, Mary Marshall, because Mary's very special. We'll take care of Mary. All righty. Thank you again, everyone. Let's try this one more time. That was a
Rehearsal.
yeah, no, I think that was an encore. That was it. It
Oh,
was an
yeah.
encore.
And
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you,
Thank you,
everyone.
everyone. Bye bye.
Take care now. Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.